Hi, this was a reading I started for myself and I'm sharing it. I started it on my TikTok, which is that Philly John. If you want to go over there, it's literally just me picking the decks and shuffling. And then I realized this was going to be way too long to stick on TikTok, so to come over here. So here I am. Okay, so cards are already all dealt. Should I start? I wasn't planning on having to talk, so bear with me. So what I asked was, what is it that I'm missing as to why I can't get over this heartbreak that I've been still feeling for over 2.5 years? What is it that I'm missing? And the first card that came up is the Wheel. Right? What's keeping me from healing? The next is the Seven of Inspiration. I just looked at it like that because all this time I thought it was the 2. So inspiration in this deck is wands, or are wands. In the reverse. The Page of Materials. Then these two came out together. The Awakening and the Hanged Muse. Then the Knight of Materials, and it came out sideways, going into the upright. The Eight of Materials and the Tower, they came out together. Then the Muse of Voices, which is the King of Swords and Strength card. The Three of Materials and the Nine of Materials. Materials are Pentacles. Okay. The bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. Okay. As always, it's completely about yourself. It's not about the other person. I mean, they're involved, but it's about you. You have a soul contract. You thought your soul contract, well, you thought you had a soul contract with this person, whoever it is for you. And you thought that that soul contract was like your divine counterpart. You thought they felt the same way. I'm saying you, even though I started this for me, because whoever's here is going to be resonating at the same thing, right? You thought it was mutual and equal, okay? You and not because you thought it in your head and just had an idea of it or wished it was that, but because that person showed you that's what they were to you, and that's who you were to them. They held you in a safe space. They were vulnerable with you, so you were vulnerable with them. So if that isn't resonating, if you didn't get that far with your person, this is not for you, okay? You could still watch because there's probably stuff that would be like helpful, but Okay. It's been a painful cycle. And it's been confusing. It's been like involved, and you've gone all, you've had like different phases of yourself. See how they're all her, but they're all different stages. It's had you like topsy-turvy, not sure what the hell, which way is up, right? But still always maintaining your center in this, even when you were devastated. Always still a hold on your center. So good for you, okay? And this is, to me, this is where we are now. And this balance is there, right? If we want it. The Seven of Wands in reverse. Which is so funny that I thought it was the Two. First I thought it was the Two of Swords. Then I thought it was the Two of Wands. It's really the Seven. It's funny. It is funny. I want to look what the Seven in reverse is. Because I want to say that it's about making a choice about integration. To right now you have these different parts of you outside of yourself. The Page of Materials, the Awakening, which is Judgment, and the Hanged Muse, which is the Hangman, right? These are all different aspects of yourself that are out there that aren't integrated. You haven't made a choice yet to bring them all together. It's not a choice between them because you're a little bit of everything. You're in a place where you are learning, you are committed to learning about yourself, about your highest self. That's what this is about. That's always what it's about, right? And the judgment has been, it's time for the awakening. It's really all chakra related, right? And very much about psychic abilities. Developing your psychic ability. The development of your psychic abilities is directly tied to this ascension, to this judgment, to this awakening. I think you need to find, so the Seven of Wands is about, in the upright, is about defending yourself. Like the king of the mountain, like finding yourself in a position where you have to defend your honor, your word, you know? And it's final for you. You're like, yo, and you come out the victor of that. And it's not an easy battle. It's a battle. And this, in the reverse, there's such a gentle strength to this, right? It's, I mean, I wouldn't fuck with this chick, right? It's about being. It's really about fully integrating everything. I want to pull a card for the Hanged Muse, and I know I didn't look up the Seven of Wands in reverse, but I want to pull a card for the Hanged Muse. Hold on, I don't know what deck I want to use. Maybe the Fountain? This is all the Muse deck, by the way. The Fountain. It's the Field. My goodness gracious. The Oracle of Mystical Moments just said to use it. So hold on. Isn't that pretty? The art on these are so beautiful. Okay, we're using this for the hang. Phew, okay. Okay, so the first card, Day and Night, came out. And I haven't used this deck barely, so I definitely have to look it up. And 25 or 7, Protective Nest, flipped but didn't come out. Wow. Okay, it's a lot. Lullaby on the bottom. 41 or 5, Home in the Sky. Number 8, Red Garden. And number 39 or 12 or 3, My Home is My Castle. So three things about home, right? Protective nest, remember? Give me a moment. I'm gonna move these guys. Okay. Okay. So the first card, right? This is for the Hanged Muse. Uncertainty, fear, worries, decisions to be made, follow your instincts, which is kind of hilarious. So it's kind of like clarifying with itself, right? trust our inner judgment. We hold the answers already in our hands. Right. Okay, so home in the sky. Wanderlust, adventure, safe haven. This is like the Fool card. Having faith in your stability, in the stability of the universe, in the stability of yourself and your abilities. Having a really good grasp on who you are and going out and letting yourself be open and fully experience things while still maintaining your center, your core, right? Right. That's what I said, right? I said, like, it's parts of you that you haven't integrated yet. Red garden. Gratitude, pleasure, happiness. It's about being grateful. It's about becoming one, understanding that you're one with everything. So how this relates to like not being able to move on, or what the thing is that you're missing of this, like why this grief is still really has its grip on you, is because you're holding on to it. Because it's a control thing. And that comes from a fear. Because maybe it's the best thing of whatever it is that's ever happened to you. Or maybe you thought it was. You know, it was something that held a lot of significance. And you holding on to it makes you still feel like you're either connected to it still or in control of some sort. And this is about recognizing that once you recognize that we are all one, we are all part of the one, there's no attachments. How can there be, right? It's easy to say that. It's not easy to do it in practice. It takes a lot of practice, and I'm certainly not all the way there. But this is about the beginning of all of that, like I'm really taking these things in that you know. And the last one is my home is my castle. Experience of life, growth, knowledge, age. The castle stands for your soul. Inside its walls, you keep your memories, thoughts, knowledge, and feelings. The older you get, the more your fortress of life grows. It keeps you company, defends against pain, and provides the foundation for your true self to continue its journey. It's truly about honoring the care and keeping of your soul, of that energy. Not the soul as something that's like not real, but as the energy form of it and what the maintenance of that, the care and keeping of it is. That's what's stopping you. And part of that is, right, is because you're literally putting your attention somewhere else. But it's also, if it's happening for you like it is for me, it's so much, I'm an antenna, right? And I'm still learning how to shield stuff. And so there's always so much coming in. I also have BPD, and that's very new diagnosis, but makes all the sense in the world. So regulating emotions it's hard. And then when you put psychic abilities on top of all of that stuff, it's a lot to figure out what's coming from where. But this is telling you, you don't have to figure all of that out. It will come to you. This is probably a care and keeping of your physical self. See where you are on the spectrum, okay, of self-care. Your sleep, your hydration, water, your food well balanced, 8 hours of sleep, hydration well balanced. Are your finances balanced? Your home, your relationships with your family, kids, or whatever. I just lost myself. That's on one end, right? The hierarchical needs, kind of. And then once those are met, it's those psychic ones, you know? Like, are you meditating, moving your body, being grateful, doing things that feed your soul, expanding your knowledge of self, learning about your energy field and what, you know, all of those things, to see where you are on there. Okay. So I think maybe that is literally what the rest of the cards are basically saying that. The Knight of Materials, the Eight of Materials. The Knight of Materials came out sideways going into the upright, and the Eight of Materials and the Tower came out together. This Knight of Materials is moving. Traditionally, it doesn't move. Feeling something weird, and I want to like stop it, the video, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to take a water break. No, something's making me stuck. Okay. You started as the Page. You went to the Knight of Materials, and then the Muse of Voices comes up, but the last card is the Nine of Materials. So that's all upward motion of your stability. And this very much is showing, like, this starts out in the 3D, right? Very much in the 3D. but with the 5D. Same with this one. And then where you end up is both with the 5D and the 3D, and you're surrendered to the flow of it. So that's the psychic abilities part I'm saying. That's the whole integration part. It's about being able to stand fully on your own. And that might sound like, to some of you, like I can do that and I'm okay with it. And I feel that way about myself. I don't feel like I need a person. I have this super deep desire for true love. And I wonder about that sometimes, like if that's some unhealthy desire. I am a Libra, and I am the Empress, and I'm the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords, so built to be in a partnership, so you feel me. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's how you look at it. It's if you feel like you need it, right? It's about being fully actualized on your own so you can be that partner. So you won't get into a partnership with someone who isn't also fully actualized. You know what I'm saying? This seems like it's important, really important for you and me to be as strong as possible in our foundations before anything else happens. Closure with that person, or letting go, or moving on to someone else. This has to happen. This has to happen first so you can close the cycle out, because the cycle is you not totally putting yourself first. Okay, you're not putting yourself first, and what I mean by that is a lot of different things. But the core of it is your relationship with Source and your embodiment of Source and what that is for you, your life purpose, your heart's desires, your deepest knowing, and your deepest dreams, visions. We're all right there. It's right there. And that's part of how we're getting there, is by collabing, right? Is opening ourselves up, is putting in all of the time and work for ourselves, and building your tribe, calling on your tribe, sharing with the collective. It's about sharing what you know with the collective too. The foundations needed to crumble, right? The tower. It's what I think the Knight of Materials, the Eight of Materials, and the Tower is saying, that all towers crumbling don't have to be negative or bad, or they're jarring, but if you keep yourself slow and steady, and you keep your inner foundation slow and steady, and keep working on becoming a master alchemist of yourself in the way that you commune with Source and all of the ways that manifests, right? Where was I going? I'm 3 hours sleep deficient. Like, I didn't fall asleep till 10, and I tried to be asleep at like 8:45, and then I woke up at 3 to pee, and I've been awake since then. I wish that was like the only reason why my brain spaces out. It's not. But it is part of it right now. That's why I look how I look too. It's just, that's something too, I guess I'm sharing because it's something to look out for in yourselves. When your frequency is lower because you're tired or something like that, it's so much easier to get stuck in that webby feeling of low frequency vibes, you know? So I was thinking about this today on my morning walk. It's not like, when I'm talking about like I feel low or it's a feeling I have, I'm not talking about emotions. I'm talking about literally a heaviness. It just sits there. It doesn't always have a face or a reason or, you know. But when I'm higher vibing, I can not have it sit there. I can, you know what I mean? And really what I have found for me is the only thing that I can find that gets me out of it is to shift the frequency. Like something has to happen to shift the frequency. And I can't always do that. So myself, and trying to like rationalize through my brain of like, you know, real reality checks or whatever, that doesn't work. Not at this level, you know? I can do that when I'm in a high vibe. I don't remember why I was saying this, but I think I made my point. God, I hope I did. But that's what I'm seeing here with that whole row. The Knight of Materials, the Eight of Materials, the Tower, the Muse of Voices, the Strength, is that dedication to yourself and your spiritual practice is crucial. And your 3D self, all of your immediate needs. The best that you can. Don't just take one thing at a time. What's the, you know, if it's sleep, like then work on that tonight. Even if it's 5 minutes, 2 minutes of a difference, just keep doing it and build up. And then when you get it to somewhere, then bring the next one in. Don't think you have to do everything at once, all together and all the way to the top. Do the best you can, but just do it. You feel me? That's what it's about. It's understanding that about yourself and letting yourself have confidence in yourself. You are strong. You have all this in you. You have stability. Even if you feel like you've never been, you have the ability to be stable. You have it. And it's okay to use your voice. It's okay to use your voice. It's okay. It's crucial and imperative that you recognize that you have a superpower of seeing and being the truth. And there might be times where you have to use that voice outwardly and really use it with yourself, you know? Really let yourself look at yourself. This was a really crazy reading. It started with the wheel, right? And then the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Why not look at it? Paranoia. Setting up or removal of defenses. Victimization. Grounding and centering when feeling vulnerable. See? Setting boundaries. This is where we're headed. The Nine of Pentacles. The Mini Empress. The solo lover, the beloved. The fully self-sufficient, you know? I think it's really about being in the practical, like being self-sufficient in the practical world, more than like really get on your health and your well-being and your mental health too, but your physical health. Like, that's what this is really saying to me. Because you already are in that I don't need a person, I know that, and I am good on my own. It's this part, it's the stability of your material self in this world, so that you have a strong hold on that before you can go out there. It's about being as strong as possible for yourself, so that when any conflict or anything comes up, or happiness, things that are happy, right, you stay centered. So maybe that has been your issue, that you lose your center, you know, often and in different ways. And it's run the whole gamut over the years. And you've evolved immensely. You're right here. Like you're there. You're there. It's weird to think about, right? That's what's keeping you from letting go of this pain. It is a really beautiful reading. It's a really weird reading. I feel like I should pull another card, but I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure what to pull. Just give me a moment again. I'm gonna drink water again. Hold on, I had said to myself earlier that if it came to an oracle card, I would wait until that moment and look and see. Because the ones I have pulled, which is the Oracle of Mystical Moments and the Romance Angels, I'm not sure if I'm going to use either one of them. We're going to use the Divine Feminine Oracle. You can really never have enough decks. Honestly. It's like ever having enough tattoos. Or books. It's really like you can never have enough books. Or art supplies. Decks and crystals are also in there. This is like last word of advice, last message. I feel like, yeah, I feel like there's one more. We'll see. Well, there's a lot more. Hopefully these don't have very long things to read about them. Okay, interesting. Bottom of the deck is Ariadne, Mistress of the Labyrinth. My soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. And the first one that came up, I'm not even going to try to say the name because I'm going to get it totally wrong. The Mystic of Peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. And then we got Rabia, the queen of saintly women. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Right? You're beloved of yourself. Lolita, the red goddess. And then we got the red garden and the red goddess. Hello, Glare. You are mad annoying. Whatever, didn't it just go away? Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. And Hestia, the goddess of sanctuary. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. It's literally what this card is about. I don't know if I read that part out of this. Home is where you are, where your heart is. So it's all saying the same thing. Let me look. Looky, looky. Are they in alphabet? No. Why do they not put them in alphabetical order? Oh, for the love of all that's holy. There's a cosmic egg card in this one. Okay, so this one, I'm going to just read the important part out, okay? When we seek to end an unnecessary pattern or routine that is no longer serving us, even though we initially created it in the effort to keep us safe, it can feel as insurmountable as facing a horned part man, part beast that lives in a dark maze inside us. Pure terror. But the soul always wants our freedom. The divine is what liberates, not confines. We can trust the soul knows the way through, and the spiritual support is that spiritual support is a given. So this is about calling on strength and courage in yourself and believing in the universe that your source is there for you. All right, there's Hestia, but here she is. This, who I cannot say her name. She was a 12th century Taoist mystic and poet. It's about meditation. Clarity only comes from clarity. There's a peace and calm that exists far beneath the constant banter most of us listen to. So this is about meditation. It's a call to be still. Do nothing other than shift your awareness. So this is about also mindfulness meditation, with meditating with your eyes open. You can Google that if you don't know what that is. Okay. Let's find Rabia. My fucking heart chakra is just like, it hurts. It hurts. It's like someone punched it like an hour ago. It's what it feels like, and it's still like vibrating outward. For the love of all that's holy. Why? Is there a list? There's a list in the front where they are in alphabetical order. Okay. She represents a rare, pure love that doesn't seek anything other simply to love. It's like the Queen of Cups. So maybe you're a water sign or have it strong somewhere. She's a Muslim saint and a Sufi mystic who lived in the 8th century in Basra, Iraq. She was sold into slavery. This is about prayer. It's about prayer and temperance and having faith. It's about prayer, and it's crazy for me because this has been coming up for me. Like, I know it. I'm supposed to be praying, like reverently, immersively. And I don't really know why I haven't done it yet. I feel like I need the time, but I guess I just need to do it. I do mindfulness meditation. I've been doing it every night for a bunch of nights in a row now. Like, I don't know. I did it for like 4 or 5, and then I skipped or missed 2, and then I did it for, last night was my first night back again after the 2. And yoga, that's all helping. But prayer for real. So that's probably, it's definitely important to some of you, if not all of you, whoever's called to this. Okay. Loving without expectations is a profound spiritual practice. Divine love is unconditional. That's been my problem too, is that my heart has remained open to this, to my person, my ex. He's not my person. And it's so difficult to still stay vulnerable and heart open. Because the pain, man. That's really where I am. It's learning more deeply how to separate myself from that pain and still stay open, you know? I committed to that in like 2019, in the spring of 2019, and I've stuck to it. And I will tell you, a lot of my psychic abilities have been, some of them have just, like, some of them are brand new, and some of them have just gone up multiple levels. It's not easy. It's not easy. Lolita. The Red Goddess. Spontaneity that graces a heavy moment and reminds us that joy is a powerful spiritual practice. She's connected to desire, the fulfiller of all desires. The bow that she's holding represents the mind, and the 5 golden arrows represent the 5 senses. Divine play. When you're able to move past, beyond dualities, to the point where we are not separate from what we desire. It's so interesting. Because the only wand that came up, right, was the 7 of inspiration. So maybe that, okay, so it's saying like when you take yourself so seriously. So all these pentacles and all of this work, hard work that you're all doing, we're all doing, to also remember to take breaks. Part of self-care is to still enjoy, like, you make the balance the goal. Commit to being balanced as whatever you're able to in what all of situations. You know what I mean? It's allowed to fluctuate. Just do what you're able to do. Okay, let's look at Hestia. Let me hold on one more second. Answers arrive from disengaging with the energy that created the problem or question to begin with. Exactly, right? That's what this whole reading started, because I wanted to know what I am missing, why I still feel love for this person who was so unloving to me. No closure really sucks. But I am learning this. You don't need it, right? The answers are already here. I I think that the pain of letting go when you don't have closure is because you're still, well, definitely because you still are attached. You still have deep feelings connected, where you feel connected with that person still, and you really want them to be who you thought they were, who they showed you that they were. Where was I going with this? Goodness gracious. I really apologize. Gosh darn it. It's about letting go, right? When I watch this back, I will write it in the description box. Okay? Whatever the fuck I was trying to say about it. I know it was important. It was about holding on to the hope still. Here's the thing, okay? You are probably super empathic, and you can, and maybe super fair, right? So to you, it's probably important to understand other people's reasons that they do things. Sometimes if it's not a very clear-cut thing, right? What is the reason why they did this? And depending on that answer, you may be more or less willing to follow through or separate yourself, right? Oh, where am I going? I know where I'm trying to go. Where the truth and the closure comes from is, how did they act towards you? If it was cruel, if it was mean, if it was manipulative, if it was deceitful, if it was abusive, it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter why they got there. They clearly have done it more than one time to you. One time is enough. You would never do that to someone. And that's not an unreasonable thing to expect for your partner to never do it to someone either. That person might learn down the road and get to that point where they're not going to do that anymore, but you can't be the one. You can't change them or fix them or control them. You also can't guide them. They need to come to that on their own, outside of themselves. They could do it through therapy or something. It can't be you, though. The person for me would never treat me the way that this person has treated me. And I've had such a hard time because of who he showed me he was in the beginning is not at all who he's been for over 2.5 years. For more of that, for most of the time now. And we've been broken up for over 2.5 years. But it's been very confusing in my brain. And this whole reading is saying to put all of that aside, all of it aside, is where has it gotten me or you, right? In some ways, it's definitely been good, how long it's taking, and because I'm evolving. But there's definitely a high percentage of pain and stress that I have gone through over this whole period that I inflicted on myself. And some of that is not in my control, like having borderline personality disorder. And even though I'm very high functioning with it, I have 7 of the 9 things. but very high functioning. But 20 years ago, or in my 20s, a lot of those things really presented more strongly than they do now. I've learned a lot of how to behaviorally modify immensely through all these years. So putting those things aside and focusing on here, on me, on my immediate needs, on my mental health, on my quality of life. What I've been doing when any thoughts of my ex come in my head, any of them, but sometimes it gets hard because there's so many thoughts, right? What I've been doing is saying, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you be happy, may you live with ease, and just picturing his face and saying that. And I say it as many times as I need to fully feel it. I feel it always from the beginning, but there's a lot of other stuff going on there, and I have a lot of mixed emotions about sending him anything positive. But it helps, and it helps diffuse the whatever was happening in my head. I can see then if it just pops away like a bubble, then that was it. It was just like an old tape playing, you know. But if it stays, then I need to look at it further. Like, why is it staying? If I'm exhausted and it's staying, then that needs to be taken care of. You know what I mean? Or I need to eat. It's, you know what I'm saying? All of these things have effects on us. All right, I forgot there was one more card. No matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. Her name translates as fireplace or altar. I want to live in a house with working fireplace so badly. Hestia is the fire that grounds us, the hearth we can gather around to stop our wandering. Hestia is an emblem of the warmth, safety, and nourishment of being in community. She represents the tangible and unseen connection between all our loved ones. She's the calm, abiding presence that can only be found within. She wants us to seek those situations that allow us to feel a sense of being home, or she wants us to create that form of sanctuary for someone else. That's selfless for she's the most drama-free. She's the one who can be counted on. The one who fosters community and provides the stability of food and warmth and shelter when all else is coming undone. Right, it is the Nine of... It's about giving from your overflow and not from your reserve, okay? This was a really good reading and involved and long. Write in the comments how you're doing if you want. Let's like support each other through this, okay? Let me know your thoughts and how it resonated with you in the comments too, if you want. And I'm sending a soul fam hug, kiss out to y'all, okay? thank you. I should be getting back to readings regularly. I was going to do it this week, but it might have to wait till next week. But look out, it might be tomorrow. It might not be till next week. Okay. Thanks for coming, and I'm sorry y'all are going through this too, but there is hope. There's a reality for us. We just got to keep putting in the work, right? Keep going deeper and keep going deeper and know that we're not alone. Sweet travels.